Okay. Thermodynamics, heat transfer, which we will study next year. And if I happen to teach it, we will come to know. Today, what I am going to talk to you is something which you already studied in second year in thermodynamics. You have studied unit 4, in your time it must be unit 3, now it is unit 4. That is Rankine cycle and steam properties. You have studied that? Okay. Now the importance of this Rankine cycle is that you are nicely sitting here, fan is on, tube lights are on. Did you ever think, how do you get the power here? Anybody knows that? Any idea? See, all power plants produce electrical energy. You have got Ennur power plant near Ennur. Anybody who is coming from Ennur, you will be knowing about it. Anybody who is from NLC, you will be knowing. Naval Lignite Corporation, they all produce electrical energy. And that comes from Rankine cycle. Okay. You already studied Rankine cycle. And Rankine cycle has 4 components. 1, boiler. 2nd, turbine. 3rd, condenser. And 4th is pump. Okay. Now, pump is a very small final item. In a power plant, the main components are boiler and turbine. Your unit 4 of thermal engineering consists boilers. Unit 5 is turbines. And your faculty Sudhakar requested it I can teach that because most of my life I spent designing a boiler. I am a boiler developer. Okay. You all have seen boiler, but you have never paid for it. You go to canteen, am I right? You see a boiler lying there. You may not have struck you that is the boiler. And boiler can be very small putty boiler to a huge power station. Today, if you are getting power all days, it is because of huge power plant, and India has already built lot of 500 megawatt. You are getting it with 500 megawatt power plant, and now what is coming up is 800 megawatt. Okay? Future power plant will be 800 megawatt. So I am going to essentially talk about the power plant and boilers. I will not talk much on power plant. Earlier we had a course on power plant. It has been removed now. So unfortunately you don't have that. But those who are entering for GATE, they should be careful. GATE asks lot of questions on power plant. So better pick up that. If anything you need it, you can always ask me. Okay. Now we will come to the boilers. As I told you, boilers can be a small putty boiler near a canteen to huge power plant. If you see a 500 megawatt power plant, its size will be nearly equal to sit and sec put together. It is huge one. And to generate some interest for you, can anyone estimate how much is the cost of a boiler? It is some rule I am giving you, which normally comes from industry people, 7 crore per megawatt. And country has plenty of 500 megawatt plant. If you want one 500 megawatt plant, so 7 multiplied by 500, it is 3,500 crore. That is cost. And it's only boiler cost. Overall it will be very expensive. So it is not a great course, you don't worry about it. But as the thing goes, I will come more and more to what is interesting to you. It will come to that. Okay? Now what is boiler? Anybody from Mylapore can put a hand up. Fine. You go to Mylapore market and it has an Indian tradition. Okay? Now don't take it in offense. In the marriage, father-in-law is supposed to give a boiler to the family. In Mylapore market still boilers are there. Okay? I have seen that. That's older tradition. But forget of that. Boilers have 2 purposes. One is for processing, second is for power generation. Okay? Very common. Every industry needs processing. Your canteen needs process. How do you make idli? It's a process. Okay? Take a paper industry. It will need steam for processing. Go to pharmaceutical industry. It needs steam for processing. Any industry, it will need a steam for processing. But that is a smaller use of steam. The real use of steam is power generation. Okay? And for power generation, you need very high pressure steam. It may not have been told to you when you studied Unit 4 that Rankine cycle, efficiency of a power plant depends on the pressure and temperature of the steam. Some exercise must have been given to you, but nobody might have drawn your attention on that. But that's higher is the boiler pressure or steam pressure, higher is the temperature, more efficient it will be. So all our concentration is always increasing boiler pressure and steam temperature. Okay, that's it. Now let us come to the boiler. Again, if time permits me, I will come back to the power plant and overall thing. Because one of the things, my strength is this. Anytime you ask me to talk on boiler, I can talk for 3 days. Okay, that's it. Let us look at this. Now coming back to boiler. Can anyone tell me what is boiler? I already have told something. Any idea what is boiler? Stand up and loudly talk. Who is that? Stand up. Why? You can speak in even Tamil. I don't bother it. No, you should be serious. In class, you should be serious. Tell me.
Water turns into pressure.
Tell once again.
Water turns into vapor pressure.
Water
Turns into vapor pressure. Converts.
steam. Your word was wrong. Yes, you are right. Why are you hesitating? I told you you will give a long answer. I will not mind it. Boiler is something which converts water into steam. Okay, that is simple. There is one more thing. Just now I told efficiency of power plant depends on pressure and temperature of steam. So you need high pressure steam, not just a steam. Am I right? So you are in a high pressure steam. Generally, when you talk of boiler in industry, it produces high pressure steam, just not steam. Okay. Now these are common definition. Maybe as a student of thermodynamics class, you can say that. But there is a legal definition because boiler is a legal equipment in power plant. It legal means there is boiler directorate. They have to approve every stage of its design and manufacturing. Then only you can use that. I have done that. Every state boiler inspector will have that. Okay, forget their competence and all. That is a different thing. But every stage of boiler manufacturing has to be approved by boiler inspector. So naturally, you need a legal definition. So what is the legal definition of boiler? That you should very carefully listen because this can be asked in your examination. There are 3 conditions for boiler for an equipment to be called as boiler. First, water to steam. It has to produce steam. If it just heats the water, it doesn't come under the definition of boiler. Clear? So it has to convert. There has to be phase change. We call it phase change. You have studied that in your thermodynamics unit 3 also. So first is the water has to convert. Second, it has to be heated by fuel or flue gas. You have to use fuel, burn the fuel, produce flue gas. That flue gas should heat the water, then only it comes under the definition of water. Okay. So second is it should use fuel and flue gas. Third, listen very carefully. Its holding capacity has to be more than 22.4 liters. Holding capacity. Unless the 3 conditions are satisfied, it does not come under the legal definition of boiler. Okay. Now, it should answer your question. When you go to canteen, you see the boiler lying there. It doesn't come under the boiler because its holding capacity is less than 22.4 liters. That's why the canteen boilers do not come under the definition of boiler. There is a boiler in our it lab. Should be doing experiment next year. That also doesn't come under legal definition of boiler because its holding capacity is less than 22. This 22.4 liter word, does it strike you anywhere? Have you heard this 22.4 word anywhere else? Anyone? Have you not heard? Just loudly say, don't worry about it if you are wrong. Stand up and tell them. Where you come from? Anyone? In your school, have you come across this word 22 word letter 22.4? Yeah, so somebody told you, he's right. Who is that? You should have the courage to tell directly. Anyone? Tell me, stand up and loudly tell. Repeat. In your school, when you studied chemistry or physics, this 22.4 number would have come somewhere. Has it come? Do you recollect it anywhere? Girls? Anyone? Have you heard of Avogadro's number? Avogadro's number? What is the value? 22.4. Okay. But remember that this 22.4 has nothing to do with the Avogadro's number. Listen. Okay. In earlier sometime in the class, some student have asked me, sir, has it something to do with the Avogadro's number? No, it is not. This 22.4 is just the conversion of 5 gallons. If you convert 5 gallons into liters, it will come something like 22.37 or 22.4. Now you may ask, sir, why these 5 gallons? There is a history for it. These are ruled by Britishers. Okay, till 70 years back. All the laws, lot of technology has come from Britain. And Britain used to follow FPS system. They fixed up 5 gallons. But why 5 gallons? Why not 6 or 4? The thing is, boiler is a critical equipment. If it explodes, it can kill the people. I have seen that. People getting injured because when you spend 35 years as a boiler developer, you will go through all that even if you don't know. And I have been very senior boiler developer. They fixed up 5 gallons. If a boiler with a 10 gallons water content explodes, it can kill more people. If it explodes with 1 gallon, it may kill less number. So they have to fix somewhere. So it was fixed up as 5 gallons. But already government is changing these laws. But implementing any changes in India is not very easy. Government has already proposed this regulation. Actually, all this comes under Indian boiler regulation. These 3 bits I have told you, it's a part of Indian boiler regulation. To call something, please don't disturb. These 3 conditions are essential for an equipment to be called boiler. Number 1, there should be a phase change. Number 2, it should be heated by fuel and flue gas. Number 3, it should have a holding capacity less than 22.4 liters. Okay? Clear? Then only legally it comes under boiler. So I told little bit of that because you got it 1 mark, 3 mark question. Somebody can ask the 3 mark question. What is the definition of boiler? So I would suggest those who are interested can take the notes. There is one more thing is, nobody is going to talk all this. You will not get it in the books also. I am talking it because of my huge experience. So you can take it on that. Okay? Now, as I told that, boiler, like a small cookie boiler, I am using some written. You can understand better from our canteen boiler to huge power plant. As I told, if you take a 500 megawatt power plant, its space will be much more than sit and set put together. And its height will be something like 100 meters. You cannot climb so easily. Those of us who are experienced, we know how to climb. Second thing we do is, boiler generally will be provided the lift. to go on. Okay, so that is how it. No, it's a huge. Now, I believe in teaching in a historical way. When I say historical way, what I really mean is that the way the subject has taken over, everything starts from a very small thing, okay, and then it expands. Now, I will give you some simple example. When I was a student, there was not even a calculator, okay. We used to use log table for calculation and something called slide rule. You may not be knowing what is slide rule. Anyone heard slide rule? No. There are no calculators. And the first computer on which I worked, size was as big as this room. IIT Bombay had that. I am a product of IIT Bombay. We had this. Now you look at it. You take a computer in your hand and go. Am I right or not? Things changes. Same thing with the boilers. It has grown from a small this thing to it. Now, let us come back to the boiler. Now, rest of my talk will be only on boiler on technical side. I told there are two uses of boiler. One is produce steam for processing. Second, produce steam for power generation. Okay. Now, the steam which is used for processing, it will not be very high pressure. It will be very, very small. Okay. Pressure will be very, very small. But what is used for power generation, they are very high pressure. And you are already familiar with a term called supercritical pressure. Anybody recollect how much what is critical pressure of water or steam? Anyone? Last year you studied critical pressure of water or steam, 22.4 megapascal. It is there in your studied on that. Okay? You are not remembering it. But before coming to understand full-fledged boiler, let me explain very simple philosophy of boiler. Those who are down south, and when the gas was not there, when I was a kid there was no gas. Today again we have come to the stage where no gas is available. Okay. We used to make something called, in Tamil we call it adukku, we call it chulha. Okay. If you recollect it, if anybody has made it, I used to make it when I was a small kid, that was very, very essential. In those days, plastic was not so common. Mostly, it was a bucket used to be of steel. Do you recollect that? Steel bucket. We used to do that, steel bucket, and if I draw a top view, it will be circular. Okay? It shows the thickness, okay? And we have to do it, then only mother will cook, and you will get your food done. So we will take an old bucket, cut it here. It means I will cut it and make it an opening here. Okay? So there is an opening here. And she said it not middle is there. And we used to drill some hole here. So this hole will be through and put some rod here. If anyone who is from the village side, he might have seen that he may be using that. So lot of rods are put. So rod, and this rod goes through the entire thing. And here you put some mud. Okay? And here you put some kind of semi wall which will be on three sides like this. And on this you put your vessel and food. You can put pressure cooker also. Okay? This explains. Yeah, stand good. Please, stand up and ask. Good, I'm happy. You can come this side if I'm not able to hear. You can come this side. Now tell me what. No. Now you have put your hand, so you have to ask. Tell me what is the question.
This material is used to construct the boiler.
Yeah, again tell me.
This material is used to construct the boiler.
I didn't get your question. You must repeat once again.
It's material.
It's material. Sit down. Fine. You have gone too far. Material of boiler will come later. Okay? Any material I can give you. We will conduct some other classes. Okay? I am not explaining material. I am explaining the philosophy of boiler. This question, what you are asking, it was asked to me when I was a very young faculty in IIT Bombay. But you remember one thing, conducting classes in IIT is far more difficult than in Sairam Engineering College, because sometimes they like to needle it. But when I went, I had already worked in the industry for 5 years. So full this thing I can explain. Your question I will come to later. We have a huge type of material. We will not. I am explaining the physics, philosophy of it. Now what is happening? At the bottom, you are generating heat. Am I right? In this domestic chulha, you are generating heat. You are putting, what we used to do here, this forms something called a plate. And here you put your coal or wood and burn it. This gives the heat to this vessel. So what you are doing? You are burning the fuel. This heat you are transferring to the water. So there are two stages. One is combustion, second is heat transfer. This is what entire in boiler design you will do. How to combust the fuel, how to transfer the heat. Okay, is it? Whenever you do any boiler, all that you do is only these two. Burn the fuel, transfer the heat. Transfer the heat, you will learn next year when you study heat transfer. Fortunately or unfortunately, I should say that there is no paper of combustion offered here. I was ready to offer as an elective, but no student is ready to take it. And my PhD is in combustion, that took cold combustion. In 1984, when I completed my PhD, it was in cold combustion. So, my strength is that. Sometimes you can get that. Okay? All that you do in boiler is only this. Burn the fuel, transfer the heat. Okay? Now, as I said some time back, boiler works under very high pressure. It can explode. So, you have to take lot of care of safety. For that, law tells you to do something which is called mountings. It is there in your course, you will understand. Mountings. There are certain gadgets you have to put on the boiler for its safe operation. That is called mountings. You are not supposed to operate a boiler or run a boiler without mountings. If you run a boiler without proper mounting, factory inspector will come, stop your factory, arrest the chief executive. It's possible. Legally he is permitted to do. Understand that? So there are various mountings. One of the first mounting is that safety one. And this also you have seen. Safety one. The most important mounting. You guys passing along? Anyone? You have not seen? I will ask your mommy to put you in the kitchen next Sunday. You have seen pressure cooker? Is there something comes? Yeah, you call it gauge. That is safety word. Actually, there is one type of safety word which is called a dead weight safety word. Industry uses different type of safety word. Okay? So that is the most important. In any pressure vessel, you should use this safety word. Okay? There are various other mounting. Now the time is not there because 11:45 your this hour gets over. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
I don't know whether the next faculty is already there.
Yes, sir.
Is there?
No, sir.
No. Okay. Whose class it is?
Raviraj.
Raviraj. Let him come. Raviraj may not come. Is the class is boring or interesting?
Interesting.
Interesting? Interesting, but then you shouldn't talk. See, my teaching is different. See, my first IIT Bombay is almost 50 years. I did my PhD in 84. Okay. I have worked in industry for nearly 35 years, all doing this kind of thing. And always I have people like you people, youngster. Though I was at director level, but person working under me will be like you, because I have always handled development. I need fresh mind. So okay, if you get bored, you can take. Okay, I will come. Feel very relaxed, feel very relaxed. And if you get bored, take. Now, coming back to this, you understand the philosophy of boiler? Philosophy of boiler? All that you do is burn fuel, generate heat, transfer that heat to water. There is nothing more than that. Now, when the size increases, manually we can do that. Okay, but don't disturb me. Okay, go inside and sit. I can make up you are a student, but don't disturb me. Please go ahead. Sit your down. No, don't disturb. Are you a student of this class? Then? Okay, you inform fast.
all NDT members are NDT club members.
You want to do that or something else? I don't come in there. But I am basically a knowledge oriented person. Because whatever students and anyone may say, the level of knowledge and competence is very low in our country. Okay. And everybody knows it. But it gives the name. So they like to do all this kind of the thing is. But do you think anything you are learning and all that? You decide on it. Okay. Now I first explained you the philosophy of only two steps. Burn fuel, transfer heat. Okay, that's it. Now, there are various ways of burning fuel. Okay. And there are various types of fuel. The classification I will go in the next lecture. There are various ways of classification. Today, to generate some interest, I will talk about burning of the fuel. Boilers use various kind of fuel. It can be oil, it can be gas, it can be coal, it can be husk, it can be wood, anything, what is available. India predominantly uses coal. That is why even now, when whole world has got a trouble, we are getting power. Because we generate power by burning coal. And coal is not a problem for us. So that. Now, any fuel to burn, whether it's a coal, oil, gas, anything is there are only 3 steps you do, okay, for burning any of it. And that step, is it, I you want to take a class, then you take I will leave, okay, or if you are not taking, then only I will continue. You are going to take, leave it, whole lecture. Okay, you can take what you want to take. No. Should I continue? Yeah. Okay. Now, listen, this is interesting for you. Step one, anybody, anything. Step one is to give initial energy. This is step one in any combustion. Okay? Step two, bring fuel and oxygen in contact. In contact. Third, remove products of combustion. These are 3 steps in any combustion reactor. He is not taking that class, so I am continuing.